Hi guys, how are you doing? Hope you guys are having a lovely day. I don't know why I'm so hyped, but I am like super hyped. I don't know why. I hope you guys are staying safe during this quarantined period. Okay, so I have decided to do like a quick 101 eyeshadow application video. I am really aiming for this video to be informative and to basically help whoever needs help. I understand there's a lot of tutorials out there, there's a lot of videos out there showing people how to do it. To be honest, I'm not a professional. Everything that I've learned, everything that I do with regards to makeup has been self-taught, watching other people doing what they do, and yeah, just copying them really. Yeah, let's get into it. First of all, what you're going to need is an eyeshadow base. Now, there are eyeshadow bases that are out there. The one that I am currently using and the one that I love using, the one that you see me use all the time, is my P. Louise base, and it's just in a neutral color. There are other eyeshadow bases out there that are different shades as well, which is really good, because obviously when you use an eyeshadow base underneath your eyeshadow, it makes the eyeshadow pop and it makes your eyeshadow last longer, because obviously when you open your eyelids, there are creases. Some people do, some people don't. I have kind of hooded lids, so it basically prevents your eyeshadow from creasing. Also, some people tend to use concealers for their eyeshadow base. I sometimes use concealers, but what I found with obviously concealers is that when I use a concealer, you'd have to kind of set it with a setting powder, and that can sometimes affect the colour of your eyeshadow, i.e. the eyeshadow might not pop as much. This is from my experience, so that's why I tend to use this eyeshadow base, because with this one you don't have to set it. You can literally put it on, let it dry down a little bit, and then you can start putting your eyeshadows on. If you're going to use a concealer, you need to use a concealer that dries down. The e.l.f. 24 Camo concealers, those concealers dry down really quickly. They will be good to act as an eyeshadow base. Right, let's jump into this. Okay, so you want to put however much you put on your eyelids is really up to you. There's no set way on how much you need to put on your eyelid. It's really down to personal preference. So what I do is I use this brush to kind of distribute it around, and I'm kind of pressing into my skin, and then I get a fluffier brush, and then this will just diffuse it a little bit more so it's all smooth. Okay, so now this is what I have. This is what I look like. Don't worry if you look like this, don't get nervous. It's just a process. Okay, so I am going to be using my Colourpop Cute AF palette. It's just this, and it has like some neutral colors, it's got some shimmers and all of that stuff. Okay, so if you look closely, my eyelid's creasing a little bit. So if that happens, you just want to get the original brush where the product is on and just press that in. Right, now eyeshadow application. So if you want to do like the classic kind of nude or neutral to smoky, you first of all do have your transition shade, and your transition shade, to be honest, I believe it can be any color. It's just basically the shade that will kind of transit from a light to dark and then to light again. Right, from this palette I will be using this brown, very light brown shade here. You want to pick that up in a fluffy brush. You want to put that above your crease. Now, how do you find your crease? You basically find where your eyeball goes in, and that's your crease. So because I've been doing this for a while, I kind of already know where I would want to place my transition shade. And I've got a small lid space, so I kind of just always take it up here, like right above. And then with this, you want to do like a circular motion. Hold your brush very lightly, circular motions going inwards, because you want the transition shade to be all over your lid. There you go. You can go back into the palette as much as you want. to get your desired, until you get your desired look, or until you're satisfied really. So this can be done in a circular motion or a wind wiping motion, which is basically back and forth. Remember I said for your eyeshadow looks, it usually transitions from light to dark and then light again. I'm going to go into a darker shade, which is this kind of burnt orangey brown shade. When you go into your eyeshadows, especially with matte palettes or matte shadows, remember to always dust off your excess, because it's better to build up than to have too much on your eyelid, because then it will be more difficult to take away as opposed to put it on, you know. With your next shade, you want to now put it just underneath that original shade, because you want the transition shade to show, and you kind of want it to be like light to dark. Also, you do not want to close your eyes when you're doing eyeshadow, because you want to see everything. So it's better for you to raise your eyelid. Like if you're someone like me that has hooded and small lids, then you'd either want to raise your eyelid so you can see what you're doing, or you can tilt your head backwards. Also, with the darker shades, it also adds depth to your eyes as well. So now I'm going to go into the darker shade, which is this really dark brown eye color here. With this, you're literally going to go right at the bottom underneath the second shade that you applied. And again, this just adds depth to your eyes. Okay, now we just have to blend everything together so it's all seamless. Okay, so now I'm happy with the way this has turned out. So I am now going to go into this gold shade here. So that's the shade I'm going to be using on my lid. What some people tend to do, they tend to spray the brush and then put it in the eyeshadow and obviously put it on your eyes. This basically just helps the shimmer shade pop more. To be honest, I don't do this all the time, but for the purpose of this video, I will be doing that. What I will do now for this look is I will take that second shade that I used, which is this here. They actually have names. So this shade is Loule, L-O-U-L-E. The first shade I used was Chauffeur, and then the darker shade is Mischief. So I'm going to go back to Loule, and I'm just going to pop that in the middle. Now this is optional, but it's good because it kind of just, I don't know how to explain it, but it just makes the eye look like when you turn and then people see the different they see the gold and then the brown and then the, ooh, it just makes it look better. So you can see it's not just gold, it's okay. So now this is what we have. Because I have small lids, if you look at my eyelid, like here, you can see there's like a line there, there's a crease there. So I tend to again take this above my crease. I literally put this kind of like where my eyeball starts, if that makes sense. And I do this so my eyeshadow is visible to people, because if that wasn't the case, when I put my eyeliner and lashes, that's it, disappeared, gone. So now we're gonna do eyeliner, mascara and lashes. Okay guys, so I am back. I obviously went off camera to finish the look, to finish off my face. Okay, this is the final look. Obviously concentrating on the eyes. I lied. So I said it was like an everyday look. I definitely don't think this is an everyday look. I don't think this is something you can wear every day. Well, I personally won't wear this every day. But I mean, obviously personal preference and all that. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope it was very informative. I hope it was helpful. I hope you learned something out of this video, because that was the whole essence of doing this video. And yes, so I will see you guys in another post.